Today we will recap a very interesting suspense thriller movie Under the Skin that came in 2013. The story starts with a bike rider who stops his bike on the side of the road and takes a dead girl with him. That biker hits our girl's dead body on the house and drives away. There was already another girl present at his house who was completely naked. That naked girl takes off the clothes of the girl we killed and lies down wearing her own. From the body of the girl who was killed, an animal the size of an eagle landed on the hand of another girl. That girl started observing our chest very carefully. At that time, an extraordinary thing appeared in the sky outside the house, as if it was a spaceship. Then we find out that this girl is actually an alien. Meanwhile, the girl wanted to go shopping in the mall. She arranges some clothes and makeup for herself and then gets ready and heads out into the city. The name of our city is Glasgow. The girl has stopped her car to ask the address of the post office. When she found out from the boy that he was also traveling in the vehicle, the girl gave him a lift in her car. After some chatting, the girl asks the boy whether he has a girlfriend or not. After accepting the boy's approval, she opened her door and started flirting with him. A little after noon, the car stopped in front of a house. This house is completely different from any normal house. The basement and the entrance of the house are very dark. There is some strange black-colored liquid on the floor of the house. Mother, this girl is taking off her clothes slowly. The boy also gets attracted to her and one by one he takes off his clothes and starts walking towards the girl. But as he keeps walking in that liquid, his movements seem to slow down. This thing doesn't make any difference to our son and it doesn't seem to matter to him either. As if an alien girl had hypnotized us. Half of it is completely covered in liquid while the other half of the girl, wearing her clothes, turns towards the river to hunt for her second victim. Next day the girl reaches a beach where she meets a swimmer. That swimmer has come for a walk on the beach. The swimmer and the girl are chatting when a lady jumps into the water to save her dog. But due to the waves of water being very strong, the lady floated in the ocean. In search of her, her husband also started moving in the water, but she also kept looking for the moving waves of Samander. Seeing this, the swimmer rushes to save them, but unfortunately he could not save anyone. In just a moment the entire family is destroyed. That girl is also noticing all this very keenly. The swimmer spends a lot of time trying to save the couple. For this reason, he was taken out of the sea and laid down on the shore of the river. Then the girl picked up a big stone and hit it hard on his head and then carried it to her car. In the background we heard the sound of a child crying. This was the child of our couple who had just given up his life in Samander. That girl, seeing the sound of the child's cry, went there and took the unconscious swimmer with her. In the evening, the girl's rider comes to the same beach and takes all the swimmer's belongings with him. That little child, sitting there, is crying bitterly, but the rider also continues to ignore his voice. In the next scene it is shown that the girl has gone to a nightclub to find her next victim. A boy in the club sees the girl and starts pulling towards her and gets ready to go with her to his house. At home he is in the same situation as the first boy. He is entering the house, sneaking into the girl's house when his pair of underwear gets covered in black liquid, and when he looks at her, he completely destroys her. The movement of the liquid showed the boy the frozen body of a US swimmer. That swimmer was still alive. As soon as this boy touches her body, her entire body immediately disappears and only her skin is left in its place. Then we are shown a machine through which we make swimmers' body parts. Just like our body is passed through an MRI machine. In the next scene the girl is stuck in a traffic jam. Then a boy came with flowers in front of his car. She buys the flower, but her flower has the blood of the boy selling it on her. The girl seemed to look at him with surprise. Then the girl saw that her rider companion was turning towards her and was looking into her eyes. After a while the girl drives away from the vehicle. Then we see that the girl is walking on the footpath, and while walking she suddenly faints and falls. Soon some people gather at the vehicle to help him. The girl regains consciousness when she sees people. Seeing the people passing by, she starts observing her with great interest because she is not an ordinary human being but an alien. Meanwhile, she lies in her car on the pretext of giving lift to another man. The diet of this man is very different from that of humans. Then in her same flirty style she asked him whether he had a girlfriend or not. But the man says that the girlfriend is behind the door, he doesn't even have any friends. Then the girl held the boy's hand and made him touch her face and neck. The boy also seems to be having fun and he visits the girl's house with her. After reaching home, this boy also met with the same fate as the other boys who had come before him. After drowning in the boy's liquid, the girl starts looking at herself carefully. Then his eyes fell on a glass window from where a fly was trying to come out. He doesn't understand what has come to his mind that she has freed him by taking him out of the liquid. Then she sat in her car and drove away. When the rider comes to know about this, he reaches the man's house and puts him in the trunk of the car and takes him with him. Here this girl is going to a restaurant. Seeing the people next door eating food, They also order cake for themselves. He couldn't eat that cake. After leaving the restaurant, she started waiting for the bus at the bus stand. That girl sits in the bus sharing a lot. Seeing him, the passenger sitting in front of him asked him if he needed anything. On hearing the girl's name, the man takes her with him to his house. When the man starts feeding her food, when a song is playing on the TV, our girl's fingers start tingling. At night, before sleeping, the girl keeps staring at herself in the mirror as if she is trying to understand herself. Here the writer along with his army and friends starts searching for the alien girl. Next day the man takes the girl out for a walk in the spring. His steps stop when he sees water. See, this man has taken him to his god and made him pray. At night the girl turns to the man to kiss him. Then both of them become physical. Because the girl is experiencing such a thing for the first time, she watches the man grow fondly during her. Then when a man's private part touches her body, she becomes very nervous and starts checking her private part with a torch. That girl was so traumatized by this incident that she ran away from this man's house and went towards the jungle. At some distance he meets another man who warns him that this jungle is very dangerous, so he should think wisely and move ahead. The girl still seems to be walking in the jungle, and as she walks a little, she sees a tourist shelter. That's where she started walking. Then we see that the writer is again searching for this girl in the pure city. Next morning when the girl wakes up, she sees that the man she met in the jungle is touching her inappropriately. She immediately eats it and starts running away from the vehicle. That man also seems to be running after this girl. As soon as the girl gets his hands on him, he tries to catch her and rape her. The girl has given up her whole life to save herself, but this man tears her clothes. Then he suddenly stopped. Because some black-colored liquid appeared on his hand which had come out from our girl's clothes. When that man is spreading the girl's clothes, her skin also appears to be fat. In this way the girl has shed her skin and has come back in her true form. She takes off her skin and holds it in her hand and looks at it. As if you have removed a helmet from your head. His eyes are still moving and his eyelids are still blinking. When the man sees all this, he sneaks up and pours petrol on our black alien and sets it on fire. After walking a little distance the body of the alien girl became cloudy. Then we see that the writer also seems to know that the girl has been killed because he was watching all this happening from the top of the mountain. The movie ends with this scene. So why do you think that alien girl finally came to Earth? I think that the aliens want to come to Earth to take over the human population, and for this they first sent powerful people from their planet to Earth. Even if a little log is processed in his black liquid, he can easily roam around like humans without anyone noticing. And that's why they sent the girls, because nowhere they knew the weakness of humans better. Let's talk about the first girl. Perhaps by selling human beings, emotions developed in her and she deviated from her purpose, hence she was killed and this girl was sent in her place. What is your opinion on this movie? We need to comment.